Hi everyone, these are your February 2017 horoscopes, and that's a month of love and a month of eclipses as well. We'll go in depth about it, but because it's the month of love, I want to bring you a very cheap and affordable webinar just for $19, below $20, that I'll do on the 12th of February, right after the eclipse and before February the 14th, the celebration of love. And it's gonna be on compatibility and love according to ancient method, Vedic method. We're gonna look at the soulmate chart, the 9 divisional on the Vamsha chart, and compare it to the birth chart of one person and the other. This is a technique that is very rare. I haven't seen anyone else use it, but one particular astrologer, and it's ancient one. It's given to her in Tibet, so it's amazing, guys. I personally use it a lot, and it shows whether you're soulmates, basically, because you can have sexual attraction and physical attraction with many people. Are you meant to walk the path together in this lifetime? Is there this attraction? And sometimes people can feel the attraction towards someone else, but the other one might not feel. They might feel sexually attracted to you, but might not feel the pull to spend your life with you. And we're going to be able to see whether it's both ways or one ways. It's an amazing technique. Come and join me, just $20. And then towards the end of February, on the 20-something, I think it was the 26th. Yes, on Sunday again, I'm going to do a webinar all about Neptune. Those of you who took all about Uranus, my webinar, you'll get a discount for it. And so come and join me for this one. It's been success, 6-7 hours it carries on. Scorpio February 2017, guys, and I'm gonna walk you through the 2 eclipses, and one of them affects you more strongly because it's on an angle from your sun, which we call like 90 degrees, and that's the first eclipse. And the other one is more supportive, actually, the eclipse, the solar eclipse. But let's walk you how it's gonna affect you. It does not fall in your sign, so it does not directly impact you, but it still falls in an important house area of your life. The first eclipse, which is in Leo. Leo is your 10th house of career and social status. Whether you're ascendant, sun, or moon in Scorpio, Leo falls in that 10th sign, which is basically our worldly actions, how the world perceives us, our status, and things like marriage, career, social situation in the world, worldly duties and responsibilities that we have. So an eclipse, what can do? It can turn things around. Eclipse can create some fated events in your life there, because eclipses create those events in life which are predetermined almost, which are in some way, before the soul was incarnated already, had a set plan. And eclipses, especially eclipses in important houses like the 10th house, which is happening for you in February, can make a big shift, karmic, fated change of direction, change of shifting gears, and transformations in regard to the house of the eclipse. And for years we said this is most likely career, social status, authority figures, father figures as well. And this eclipse, though, I don't want you to be scared from it, because it's very positive. And it's a lunar eclipse. First of all, lunar eclipse in your 10th house of career, it means that the moon is full. And it's like a full moon on steroids when there is a lunar eclipse, which means the light of the moon, basically, the moon has grown the most it can, and the moon naturally rules processes of growth and material manifestation on Earth. So when it's full moon, and you have a full moon in your 10th house every year, but it's not an eclipse. Eclipse is way more powerful. It's like a full moon at 10 degrees, at 10 levels more, like as we call it, on steroids. So there will be a strong impact for many Scorpios. Possibly ascendant and sun will feel it stronger in regards to their career. But full moon is about something coming to manifestation, to something, receiving the results of something, seeing the full result, seeing the full manifestation of something. Something coming to completion, fruition in some sort, and physical manifestation. And this full moon is caused by Rahu. The moon is conjunct Rahu, the north node of the moon, which is a point of gain. So this full moon, lunar eclipse, can shake things up in regards to your social status and career and change things there, but it's only because it wants to bring you something bigger. And actually ancient texts say that when there is an eclipse in your 10th house, one becomes like a king. Well, possibly, when I had an eclipse in my 10th house, I became from... there were eclipses for 1.5 years in the 10th house. This is just the first of many eclipses, 2 or 3 more eclipses in your 10th house of career, which can forecast a period of maybe 1.5 years for you Scorpios, which can bring sudden elevations in your career. When I had one there from a one-man band working on my own, basically I started working with another 10-15 astrologers and psychics. So one gets more authority, more social situation, more social growth in some sort, social status. Sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath. So yeah, and this full lunar eclipse, it's not full moon lunar eclipse, it's gonna be happening basically around the 10th of February, but you can feel it a month before and up to 3 months after the full eclipse, the lunar eclipse. So don't expect just on the 11th of February something to do with your career to change in a big way. It can be 3 months after and 1 month before, so some of you might be feeling it already. And so basically what can it do? And as I said, this one will bring you something. This one can bring you, for example, a new position, a promotion, a new career, a new boss, a new circumstances in your social status that might be more elevated, because Rahu is causing it. Rahu is the planet of gains and material manifestations, and maybe you can see the results of some projects you've been working on and the fruition of them. For example, I had a client who had eclipse in the 10th house, and within 2 months of that eclipse she was finally able to bring out some project she was preparing, and it was accepted, and it increase her social status. That's one way it can manifest, you know. Look how beautifully aspected this full moon is, this lunar eclipse is. Its only positive aspects, it's such a beautiful structure, like a crystalline structure. All the planets are around the 22 degrees of their respective signs, Sagittarius, Libra, Aquarius, and Aries. So they're sending a lot of very supporting influences to that moon, which is affecting your career and social status, guys. So, you know, I would say there's lots of support, and it's part of a grand trine. Grand trine is about opportunities, possibilities, divine inspiration that comes, and it flows naturally, those doors opening. And it's part of another structure, geometrical figure configuration, which is a mystical rectangle, as we call it. And because it's kind of like rectangle, it means rectangle is a symbol, shape symbolizes something manifesting in the material way. So not only is the inspiration there, the triangle, but so is the rectangle, the implanting in material reality as well, and manifesting in the physical. So hopefully that's good news. And they might be, sometimes things like that can shake us up a little bit, like a change of work and a change of goals and plans and social status. But know that it's for good, will bring you some growth, will bring you some even material benefits. Then the other eclipse, which is on the 26th of February, but it will be last even longer, a month before, the January, February, and up to 6 months after that, up to August 2017. You can feel and you can see the results of that eclipse. So it's not just on the 26th again that you'll see the results. Actually, 6 months after that you can see. But it's happening in your 5th house, guys. And this is a solar eclipse. Now, the solar eclipse is when the sun and moon are together. The moon is invisible. So mother and father join together to create life. Again, something new. To allow, this is, you know, the full moon is about something manifesting. Something that's been possibly in the making for some time. Giving results or manifesting materially. Being, you know, while a new moon is totally new beginnings, totally new impulses, totally new inspiration, and it's happening in your 5th house. And 5th house is a house naturally connected to creative intelligence and inspirations. And it's connected to children. So this time with this new moon, it can indicate for you guys that over the next 6 months, there might be, and even a little bit before, there might be new creative ideas that spark up in your subconscious, new powerful creative ideas that you can turn into a business, that you can turn, that you can turn into something that helps you to express your individualistic path in life, something that makes you shine like the sun, because the 5th house where the eclipse is happening is the house of the sun, where we come with our unique talents and where we become the main character that's why it rules any artistic careers, any careers where you're center stage, having your own business because you're the king there, where everything rotates around you and around your creative ideas. People in theater, in music, in politics, in in public speaking as well. You know, if you're in any kind of such careers and you happen to be Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, this eclipse in your 5th house can signal new beginnings that will come there, new creative projects over the next 6 months. But first of all, there might be the need to remove something, because this full solar eclipse is created by Ketu, the south node of the moon. Just like I told you, the lunar eclipse is created by Rahu, which gives you something. The solar eclipse is created by Ketu, which takes away something from you. And it can take something, for example, it can ask you to leave behind something in regards to the 5th house first, so it can make space for something new to be born. Some old creative ideas, some old hobbies, some old passions of yours that not fertile anymore, you might have to let go of. Some passion of yours romantically. 5th house is romantic, people that we feel passionate about and are in love with. We might have to let go of certain outdated ways of making, and actually the planets will really help us, because it's part of this solar eclipse is Neptune, which is about releasing and letting go. It's happening in Pisces, sign of releasing and letting go, and with Ketu, leaving something, completing karma from the past, leaving something behind. And so there is a lot of let go energy, a lot of release energy that the universe will help you. So for example, if you have some emotional attachment still to someone who is not healthy for you, over the next 6 months, this eclipse can help you release those emotional attachment in some relationship that is not right for you. Or if you have some wrong understanding of how to give and receive love romantically, they can be kind of a release of those outdated beliefs and letting them go. And it might feel a little bit painful, like maybe having to release people romantically, having to say goodbye to certain romantic illusions, for example. But at the same time, because this is very past life energy here we're seeing, there might be some romantic development in regards to past life connection or past life partner, for example. But even if you're having to say let go of some, and some 5th house rules children, so some of you might have in the next 5-6 months to release children who are maybe having to grow or to grow up or to leave, to release you, to release how you have the relationship with those children, to release your control over those children, because they're taking on their own path. So because Pisces and Neptune and Ketu is all about let go and let God in regards to all those 5th house matters that this eclipse requires from you to do. Children, creative endeavors, romantic pursuits, business creative ideas as well. But if you're asked, if something is removed from your life and released, it's only because it's making place for something new to come, because eclipses, as I said, the solar eclipses, they're making place for something new. And they will be soon like either a new romantic interest or new way of manifesting love, or new way of connecting to your child in some way, you know, over the next 6 months that it comes. Okay, so these are the 2 eclipses. Now let's see what else is happening, Scorpios. Well, you're gonna have Jupiter retrograde in your 12th house, and Jupiter goes retrograde every year for about 5 months, but for the first time in 12 years Jupiter is going retrograde in the 12th house from Scorpio, which is in Libra basically. And what can it mean? This can be a great time over the next 5-6 months for some deep research, because 12th house is the house of researching, going deeper in, reevaluating, analyzing the past, and you can get some amazing insights, because Jupiter is the planet of higher knowledge and insights about the past and about what is self-sabotaging you. It can be a great time to dig deep and work with a counselor, a psychologist, or a spiritual advisor of some sort to work, because retrograde planets are also about introverting the energy, and the energy of Jupiter is higher knowledge and higher deep understanding. And when it goes retrograde in the 12th house, you can have some powerful deep realizations about what's motivating you, about your psyche, about what's sabotaging you, how you're sabotaging yourself, what belief systems or behaviors or actions which are kind of hidden from your 12th house, or which come to you from past lifetimes, are sabotaging you or keeping you to something unhealthy, for example, and you'll be being able to gain that higher knowledge. Some people were able, very rare occasions, but when Jupiter is retrograde in their 12th house, to revisit past lifetimes, to revisit, it might not be so easy fully to manifest so quickly when Jupiter is in the 12th house. It's kind of more concluding period, more releasing again period. We have here the energy of release again. But you can receive some hidden support from invisible worlds, from unknown supporters that you are not aware of, something that's behind you that you're not fully aware of, that this is the 12th house. It can be a good time when Jupiter goes retrograde. Sometimes people can in the 12th house, and actually Jupiter stays in your 12th house till October, can be a good time for working on preparing some international documents or something to do with relocation to a foreign country. And it might slow down the process of this materializing while it's retrograde till June, but it's kind of asking you to work harder on it. So for example, immigration of some sort, or foreign travel of some sort, or it can be amazing for deep research. If you're doing a PhD, or if you work in laboratory, if you're working in some kind of research. I remember when Jupiter was retrograde in my 12th house, I had some of the most amazing insights about astrology, and I was not even working it yet. But that's when astrology really went deep within me, into my subconscious, and became part not just of the logical part of my brain, but of the subconscious. It merged with my soul, basically. That's why when Jupiter is in the 12th house, people say that this is the period when you can get amazing intuitive understanding about things. And if you're a deep thinker, and if you're someone who is researching the invisible, who is trying to understand some discipline very much in depth, you can have a success, a tremendous deepening success, deepening awareness while Jupiter is retrograde in your 12th house. So that's what I see for you guys. And also the planet Mars, which rules Scorpio, is going into Aries, will be there for most of the month, which is quite good for you because it energizes you. Mars, which is you, your Scorpios are ruled, one of the planets that rules you is Mars, and Mars is moving direct, and it's in Aries, a very forward moving, very forward shooting and straight sign, and especially will help you deal with issues and problems because it's going to be in your 6th house. And to tackle issues and problems in a very non-bullshit, straight, direct way, because 6th house rules anything that needs fixing, anything that's out of balance, any enmities, any kind of competition, anything that is out of balance, or health problems, or any chores that you've left that needs to be done and tackled. Mars will help you tackle them without fear. Just goes there and forces you, even if you don't want to. Mars will force you, go and fix this thing, go and put more order in your office, go and sort out those things that you've left behind, that you had to fix, go. It can increase enmity with people, but just to fix them, as well. So you're gonna be able to be very productive February, and by the end of Mars being in Aries, when it moves out, you'd have completed a lot of especially kind of practical tasks that not all of us enjoy doing, but would have tackled them very fearlessly, by the way. So that's why Scorpio is such a strong sign, because their 6th house is ruled by Aries. So how they handle problems, they handle it courageously. And if your 6th house is ruled by a very soft sign, often you can be very soft in front of problems and retreat, but Scorpio is not, because their 6th house is Aries ruled. For all Scorpios, whether it's your ascendant, sun or moon, the 6th sign from Scorpio is Aries. And when Mars moves there, it strengthens and fortifies this ability to fight and to in battles to be stronger as well, to tackle on scary things and things out of balance and practical matters and step-by-step, plans with courage and with impetus. Anyway, thank you so much, Scorpio, and hope you enjoyed that video, and I will see you in March for the March videos.